I'm in a zone. Pull up the spot with the speakers banging way like the zone.
Having learned everything that you have around business, first of all, let me not even gloss over this question I've been wanting to ask for a long time.
Yeah.
Getting into acting, right? Because we talked about your life as a, professional humor specialist.
Why you like this,
I
Gabs?
don't know, man. I'm usually a lot more on point, right? So we've talked about your career as a humor specialist, but my first time encountering the image of Daniel Omara was on The Hostel. I wasn't a follower of the show, but it was such a phenomenon at its time. And this is, again, like 2011, right? Mm-hmm. 2011, 2012. So it was such a phenomenon at its time.
Yeah.
And the cast became instantly, UG famous.
Yeah.
Very quickly, right? And you being your
Funny
character's
guy.
name was Odoch, right?
Yeah.
The late.
So how did you come into that opportunity, and how did acting in front of a camera prove to be more challenging or easier than standing in front of a live audience telling jokes?
So funny story. I get a call from Kakai. I don't know if you Emma Kakai. She's one of the comedians with Fun Factory and Kansime's former manager. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I get a phone call and she's like, "Hey, I've seen you do stand up. There's this role, and we're having auditions. You want to come through?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. What time?" She's like, "Anytime between like 9 a.m. and like 2 p.m." So I'm like, "Cool." Back then there was no dropping pins, man. Back then you had to find places manually, like look for smoke signals, follow the clouds, those things. So I check in to Fast Track Productions, step into the room. They wanted me to audition with 2 different versions of Patra,
Okay.
because they had auditioned every other role and got the guy. But mine, the person either didn't sound like Arno Deutsch or didn't look like Arno Deutsch. That's what they told me. They said that's why I got the role. So I step in and I'm auditioning with these 2 chicks, and I'm just going crazy with the character. I'm just being the teenage version of myself, who was just a clown. So, and these guys are loving it. So they told me, we'll get back to you. And I'm like, cool. By evening, they had sent me the script for the pilot. They're like, 5 p.m. They're like, yo, we're filming in a week. Get your lines.
Nice.
Let's do this. So we shoot the pilot and then wait 9 excruciating months. This was January 2010. We started filming in November 2010 because the show was supposed to hit TV in Jan 2011. And I remember shooting the pilot. All I had to do was step into the room, untie the mattress, but my hands are just shaking, right? It's just all over the place because I could not get it out of my head that there was a camera there just looking at me, and I'm like, ooh. And the problem is they're recording, so if you screw up, you're done. And I didn't know what a pilot was, but I thought the pilot was episode 1. So I'm like, this is what's ending up on TV?
Yeah, what's a pilot?
The pilot usually is, in Uganda, a pilot is how you get sponsorship.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, so the pilot is that show which the producers
used to pitch.
film,
Uh-huh.
and then they submit it to different studios
To get like funding.
to buy
and
a full season.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they took that, pitched it to sponsors, and guys loved it. They loved the contrast between how organized Twine was,
Yeah.
fresh haircut line, like steady guy, ambitious politician, and then there's this other rugged dude with the afro. And back then I used to play horns into my afro for no reason. I felt like it. So they're like, this dude's ratchet. What shocks me is how Ugandans took that character in. Coincidentally, after I shot the Hostel pilot, I did the Airtel ad. I did the Airtel ad after the Hostel pilot. And Fast Track had a problem with the fact that you have done the character we want you to play. Because I did the Airtel ad in Feb.
Yeah.
The pilot was in Jan. So now they're like, I don't know. And then the ad was a hit. And then I'm getting over the ad. The show gets on TV. Then the show has hit TV. Then now it's just crazy. So there's mic check on TV. Then I'm in the hostel. Then I'm in an ad. And I'm all over the screens.
Some money.
It
was making money.
It was crazy.
How did the fan love change your life at that particular point in time?
Ooh. Oh, let me be honest with you, but it took me by storm because I will not lie to you guys. Until I became an entertainer, I was invisible. I was invisible. You were invisible. It was that guy with his jeans and his t-shirt and his bag and his old school shoes.
Now you get the red jacket.
Walking everywhere. Now I got the red jacket, man. Danger. Help the bear. So
It's a problem now.
it's a
Man.
problem.
Hide your daughters.
Hide your daughters.
Hide your girlfriends.
Don't hype him now. Don't hype him.
Omara is loose. Huh?
But it wasn't like that. I was trying to be a grounded person because I'd always wanted a brand that was approachable, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to be an approachable brand.
Yeah,
Wanted to be.
Wanted to be an
Wanted.
approachable brand, but then you slowly begin to realize you can't let that many people in and still be respected.
See, that's the no fans.
Yes,
Like,
there
please,
has to be
no
that
cameras.
barrier because you walk into the club and someone's just going to put their booty on you like, hey, what's up, Omara? You're with your girlfriend.
Oh, I was gonna be like,
And-
no one wants.
yeah.
wants booty
So
on-
you
I
became,
lost my space.
So you became disciplined about it fairly quickly?
I had to try.
Did you have one of those moments where you were just like, man, I'm drowning in it right now. Like, I need to, like, I've been invisible for so long.
I might as well.
I don't know how long this shit is going to last. YOLO, goddammit.
I mean,
I'm
he just said
I'm
I tried.
I'm swimming in this thing right now.
He just quoted himself, said, I tried, but so.
Okay.
Like, dude, come on.
He
You,
accepted.
you had to have had like a moment, like at least
Yeah.
a month in your life where you just had a tremendous
do this.
spike in activity.
Not a month. Moments. Like, it was, I just made sure it didn't happen in public.
What? Being a
Okay.
stand-up comic or being a stand-up?
Just generally, I had to.
No, I refuse to believe like there are. Look, listen.
I'm sure the times
We're,
you just
we're
enjoyed
unfiltered
this.
on this show, guys. Listen,
Yeah.
Let me put it
we're
this way.
unfiltered on this show, and I need to know. Like, I need to know. There are regular rank and file civilians in this town, and for the ladies who are watching and listening to this program,
It's okay.
pardon my vulgarity right now.
It's okay.
But there are average Joes, and this show is about being allergic to average, by the
Yeah.
way. So there are average Joes who are out here drowning
in
that thing.
the thing. Yeah.
They're getting it tossed at them like an underhanded lob. Just catch. What? Here, have. Please, in fact,
It's yours.
Please, in fact, it's
Take it.
Just
All of it.
for the convenience of your life. Just have.
Sprinkle paprika on it.
So how can I reconcile if average Joes experience that? Like, celebrities out here be on some bullshit, man. Like, I want to have one guy.
want the truth.
I want one guy to
tell
finally
us.
say it with his chest, like, yo, I was drowning in pussy for like
Just tell us,
6
tell
months of my life. I just couldn't come up for air. It was on a Monday, on Thursday,
And
on
it's okay.
Friday, on Sunday. I tried to rest, but no, twice on a bad Tuesday. Like, talk to us about it, man.
It's okay.
So-
You were young. We accept you.
My university room, right?
There we go.
Smelled of Badusi.
Do you know what Badusi is, Jake?
You know what Badusi is?
I have an idea.
Badusi is booty, dick, and pussy.
Oh,
Basically that combination. Like, I was just,
oh Lord. I said Badusi. Wait, that's actually a thing.
Badusi
Yeah,
is a thing.
coined by the late great Bernie Mac.
Bernie Mac, man. Which movie was it? It wasn't Friday. It wasn't Players Club.
It was a House Party 3.
Yes. No.
I didn't
No.
wish three.
What was
I
How
didn't
to Be a
wish
Player?
How to Be a Player? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
How
He
to Be a
said, this
Player.
house smell like Badusi.
It smelled like
This
Badusi.
house smell like Badusi. How to Be a
Your
Player?
typical 90s player movie. It's a funny thing, right?
Yeah.
So it was.
I'm keeping that one.
No, you guys don't know what it means to have your face on TV every day.
Here we go.
You walk into a place and everybody's like, yo, sit here. And then you choose the one that called you to VIP. Yes. So it's basically, yeah, I'm with them. And guys are like, whoa, it's like we won.
They won the lottery just being able to hang out with you.
Yeah, it's like there was a bet. And yeah, so you come through, of course. It's not like you're being dick or anything. You're chill with them, right? You're like,
Yeah.
okay, you guys invited me into your space. I'm going to be nice about it. You talk, have casual conversation. Guys are just happy to have you around. They're buying you drinks. Someone's going to come sit on your lap like, hey, what's up? I had 2 girls hit on me while I was seated right next to my girlfriend, and they didn't care. They didn't give a damn.
And how did the girlfriend feel?
Of course, she was pissed because she was also kind of like in the field of entertainment.
Okay, I have a question, but
And-
I'm going to ask it afterwards.
I don't want. So it was a bit of a competition. It was a bit of a competition. I don't know whether it was between us or on her part, but you know, it would be weird if you were someone's girlfriend. You walk into a place and he gets more attention than you, yet you're the hot one.
Yeah.
It would be a bit confusing. I understand.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was someone just coming up to you in a bar and wanting to leave with you. You don't get why. You don't even know why you're taking them, where you're taking them. But in your mind, you're like, well, I guess Mukono is not that far. We're partying at a friend. There were no Ubers at the time, and especially I was charging like 20K from Kampala to Mukono.
20K?
Yeah.
Okay, that was still
So
cheap.
just jump in the ride and head out to
Hey.
Mukono. The thing is, happens. You left the Fendis and went to Mukono. Good
So,
times.
so the question I wanted to ask,
No,
yes,
no.
as I was saying,
Mm-hmm.
so Odoch, I feel was a gift, insane gift.
True.
Like the level of blowing up was insane. But at the same time, I would equate it to Sheldon, Big Bang Theory, or Barney Stinson, How I Met Your Mother,
Oh yeah.
because I feel like it also came with the mini curse. I won't call it a curse, I call it a mini curse. Because when did Hostel stop airing?
The original hostel.
The one
I
that
think
you're in.
about 2012.
That
Season
makes
3.
it 10 years. And you are still tied to the Dutch brand.
Oh yeah, Sam Bagenda is still Dr. Bossa to this day.
That is true. That
Yeah,
is true.
like there are roles you just can't escape from. you know
Yeah.
how. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
Like I'm sure if that chick came back, she'd still be Nakawunde. Like
Yeah, yeah.
Ugandans really. Okay, not Ugandans. People generally.
Yeah.
Because Hostel was airing what 5 days a week? 4.
Yeah.
It was Wednesday to Saturday. Was it Wednesday to Saturday? It was like 4 days a week.
So you're handling the repeat.
I was living in people's living rooms. So people meet you and they don't see you as, oh, it's Omara. They're like, oh, this is the guy from inside my living room. You get,
Yeah,
'cause you're in
yeah.
people's faces every day. Like, I mean, genius strategy, but it's a lot of work. Because you're filming from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday, and then Saturday you do half day to rehearse the scripts you're going to shoot next week.
Mic check. Oh,
Yeah,
and
mic
mic
check.
check.
Meanwhile, I'm doing mic check and university. So, you guys.
But this is actually an important conversation. Most people in campus don't think they can do campus and work.
Yes.
And then what you were doing is basically you had 3 jobs and
much.
and campus.
So you're emceeing a gig here and there.
Yeah.
You're doing TV.
Yeah. Twice.
Yeah. Twice as a comedian and as an actor. And then occasionally you have to travel for events. Like someone has called you to Ginger. So, then we're running Punked Bunch as well. There's another comedy group I created out of the people who couldn't make it into our comedy group, but we're good.
So it was for the special kids.
Yeah.
The junior varsity group.
Yes. Dickens Pav, Conan Tumusime, Omukebete,
Hey, that's good stuff.
Smarter, Yocha. Like this is like
Yeah.
2010, 12 years ago. So they were really good, but there's no place to fit them. So what is it? Rafsanjan? I talked to Rafsanjan and he sets up an event at Silk. So I had a monthly event at Silk. I had a weekly show at the theater. Then I have to be on set every day, then be at university, then do gigs every other day.
But you still made it work.
Try to figure it out, man. I failed sometimes, I won't lie. And if I had to choose, I was being paid to perform, but I'm paying for university.
It feels like you guys came up and figured it out as you went along, right?
We made it up entirely as we went along.
With the way the technology was changing, social media was changing, the way that you can build a brand and become famous overnight, right? I think a lot of, particularly today, right? So let's consider you guys the pioneers of this generation's comedy, right? Because you started in a time where your talent had to specifically be demonstrated on stage in your traditional format, right? And yes, you had the benefit of being able to take on a brand deal like Airtel to get your face and your name out there. And then you had the added benefit of being on an explosively popular show like Hostel, right?
Yeah.
But your bread and butter has always been your ability to perform on stage, right?
Yes.
So, and you weren't really mentored by, a comic who was 10 years or 15 years your senior who was seasoned in it. Were you?
Actually, they were. Al Rogers and Joe Parker, they're from South Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, Joe
Okay.
Parker runs a comedy platform called Parker's Jive. I don't know if it shut down during lockdown. I had something like that. But Joe at the time was in his late 50s. Al was in his 40s, and I was 21. And these guys were coming in with like 30 years of experience on stage.
Okay.
So it was, we were learning from comedians.
So you honed your craft by being guided by people who really knew the game
Yes.
at its height.
Yeah. And that's why I took on the mentorship role, because professionally I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
And then I felt like these guys gave me this for free. In fact, they paid me to take this knowledge because we had a $30 a day allowance on Stand Up Uganda.
Yeah.
And I just started shopping for the house. I went crazy. And I ran mad. I'm like, I was so proud to bring milk home to mom. I'm like, hey, here's milk, here's some meat. Like, you're just having fun with it. And guys are paying you to take in knowledge.
Yeah.
They're helping build you to grow yourself. They're not looking for, of course, they made money off the show being a show.
Yeah.
It was an amazing show, but someone gives you this knowledge, and I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to hold on to this. We need to grow the platform because we're not going to be here forever.
Yeah.
Someone has to take it over. So I was more than glad to pass it on. The guys come through and they're like, I want to do comedy. And my first question always was, why? And I normally shied away from people who said I want to be famous because that is a very weak motivation. Fame is not going to come up front. When we finished Stand Up Uganda, we were the top 3 runners up, right?
Yeah.
Pablo had already been kind of famous, and then he had the church. Salvador and I still had to work our way up from the bottom, even after coming out of a competition. You still have, it had just begun. So when I see people coming up and telling me I want to be famous, I'm like, well, you look like the type who won't be famous in 3 months' time and then give up. But I've invested my time and energy into you. So it wouldn't be valid. But people who came to me and said, I love this stuff. I think I'm built for it. Let me try, man. I want to show you what I'm made of.
Yeah.
So I would put guys on ice for like 2 months, right? You're writing every day. Every week, I expect you to come to me with at least 5 minutes of material. And then I would edit it, sort of, just help you out, polish this, polish that, because Joe Parker and Al Rogers gave us professional training. There were booklets for this. There was an audio book. I'm joking. But there was like there was like pamphlets and stuff written by them for the show in particular.
Yeah.
The guys had lesson plans. And me, I'm looking at this as a teacher and I'm like, oh, wow, these guys, it's actual training. And then they'll tell you, when we say we're starting at 10, it means you should be here by 10. Basically, we were trained in the discipline of the job. Be on time. Always know your material. Always be prepared, ready to improvise. So I walk in late one day. I walk in at exactly 10. And this is the first time I'm meeting Al Rogers. And he looks at me and tells me straight up, get in front and give me a 1-minute set. And good thing is, on my way there, I was thinking of some stuff in the taxi. So I had things to joke about. And guys like, well played. But you were still late.
Yeah.
You get the whole objective was a punishment. I fluked my way around it, but he made his point. Like, you were late.
Yeah.
Always be on time. Always be at the event earlier than you're supposed to start performing. Study the audience. Figure them out. You get understand the dynamics of the place. Find out who the funniest guy in the office is. Who's the office clown? Who's the boss that loves sending emails? Who's the passive-aggressive dude in those emails? Because there's always that person. As per last week's meeting, find out who these people are. Like, pop up a few things in your head about them. Joke about the CEO, but be, subtle about it.
Yeah.
Basically, just entertain. So the training was interesting, and the training it helped us build bonds as friends, right? Like I said, Salvador and I never liked each other.
Oh yeah, that's the next story.
From the first day we locked eyes, we just did not like each. I mean, he looked like Debo from Friday. Doesn't he though? Like, he does look like Debo from Friday. I mean, rest his soul. But I looked at Salvador and I'm like,
Different gym routine, but
yeah, very different gym routine, if any.
and diet.
So
I'm not saying anything.
cool peoples though.
Salvador is the homie.
Yeah, I know. He's a homie to all of us. So we look at each other and we just don't like each other.
Yeah.
And then they give us this exercise. which is the funniest thing ever. Joe Parker tells us you're supposed to communicate. We're going to pair you guys up. I looked at Salvador as this annoying, seemingly arrogant, pompous guy. And he looked at me as this young, know-it-all kid with a smart mouth. Mm-hmm. So we were both looking at each other like, this space isn't big enough for the both of us.
Yeah, yeah.
And then in the middle of that was Alex. Like, what up? Now, we had this dynamic where they pair you up and then they say you're supposed to express what you're trying to say to your friend without using words. You can make sounds, you can use hand gestures, but you're not supposed to say any single words, but expect the other guy to get what I'm saying. Basically, it's the training in the physicality of comedy.
Yes.
Like you're telling jokes, yes. You're a good writer, yes. Your mouth, you're great with delivery, yes. But your body needs to move. Synchronization, mind, mouth, and body. That's why I respect Mariachi. But I may not agree with his content, but I respect the guy for being... I think he's one of the few comedians I've seen whose mind, mouth, and body move at the exact same pace. What he's saying is what his body is doing, is what he's thinking at the exact same time. Guy's one hell of an entertainer. So we are supposed to do this. And Salvador and I are both amazed that we get each other. Without words. It's just... And we're having a whole argument like that. And the guy's like, I know where you are going with that stuff. You were trash talking. I'm like, yeah. And we just had that. And from that day, we just hit it off and became buddies.
Yeah.
So we actually got each other through the competition.
Because I actually hear what you're saying about him. Probably, if you do not know Salvador, it's easy to misunderstand him.
Very easy.
And yet at the same time, which is actually one of the things that worries me about comedians, every time you meet Salvador in public, he has high energy.
Yeah.
He has high energy. Like I've met Salvador again in the bar, but I've never met below 100% energy.
Salvador is like a squirrel on Red Bull.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Just give a rodent Red Bull and see what happens.
Like, yes, but the problem is, when do you get time to stop and relax?
See, the thing about Salvador is I think that's just him.
That's crazy.
That's just Salvador. It's like meeting Kansime. She
Yeah.
doesn't stop.
Yeah.
And when she does, it's either because she's thinking about something or maybe doing something or sleeping. But she's always on. So a lot of comedians are like that. Me, when I'm off stage, I'm normally trying to act normal.
Trying.
Trying.
I like that you use the word trying.
Yeah, I try. I try to act normal
Couldn't,
because,
so.
you know.
So, I mean, I've seen that, and it's good that you brought up Kansime, right? Because she, to me, also represents the highest levels of success
Yeah.
that a current, you know, in this era of Ugandan comedians have achieved, right?
Yeah.
Her online following is crazy, and everything that she's been able to achieve in terms of the opportunities internationally and whatnot, right? So, you know, I feel like the biggest people in Ugandan comedy each have a distinct and unique brand that they associate with themselves, right?
True.
Yeah.
Like you said, Salvador has his position,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And his persona that he plays up very well,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Alex has his very, very specific Muchiga man, that
Flyboy.
that fly guy,
Tuxedos.
always very smartly, sharply dressed, but also at the
True.
same time he has a very, you know, unique comedic approach and style. And she's always giving us characters upon characters upon characters. Her skits are just as good as the stuff that she speaks into a mic. Where do you position yourself in terms of this is me and my unique thing that I do better than what anybody else does?
So this is the label I was given. I'm not bragging. This is the label. This is how I was labeled when I joined the industry. They're like the intellectual comedy guy. Was it like,
You
hey,
are very intellectual in your comedy.
yeah,
Yes,
he is,
yes,
he
you
is.
are very much so. You use complicated words. Your vocabulary is very
What?
expansive.
I have toned down the vocabulary a bit. I realized it was cutting out a good portion of my audience earlier in my career. Because sometimes I'd also be standing there like, why do they not get me? But you just use the word exacerbated.
If you use that
In
word
Uganda.
as a joke, I'm
Yeah.
not laughing.
Seriously.
Like, do you know someone's over there and you it just exacerbated the situation and people are like, I don't know whether to laugh, clap, or just, some guy just broke out clapping. He's like, yeah, man, vocabulary. I'm thinking. But so, for me, it was always, I came to the stage with a single topic. Like today, I'm talking about caning in high school. That's it. And I'm going to go 10 minutes on that one topic. So I've dissected it. I've gone into it. I've mixed it up. I like to analyze situations and find the humor in it.
Yeah.
Normally, I don't go for the funny stuff. I actually like going for the dark stuff and finding the humor in the crazy things. Buganda riots, Rema and Kenzo breaking up, which, by the way, for me was like one of the funniest sets I've ever done.
I think you kept that one for a while.
No, Rema and Kenzo breaking up was hilarious because everyone is, I'm Team Rema, I'm Team Kenzo. I was Team Gynecologist. Yes. Yeah, like for me, that's the vibe I saw. I'm like, this is my guy. Because first, like, where do you start, right? Becoming a gynecologist. At what age do you make this decision? How do you, as a parent, if your kid walked up to you and said, like 12 years old, I want to be a gynecologist, what's the first place your mind goes? Like, where are you getting this inspiration from? We need to talk, but what? You guys want to be engineers, doctors, musicians.
It is a good question.
Like, it is a very fair question. So for me, it was answering the stupid questions in my head is where the humor comes from.
Yeah.
Because building a set is you have the situation, right? Very normal. Get as much information as you can out of each piece of info that is in there. Like if you're talking, maybe I've watched National Geographic, right? Mm-hmm. Normal stuff on TV, animals running around. Then you begin to notice that most of these videos begin with, they observe the mating rituals of the African cheetah. Like, Animal Planet and National Geographic is basically Pornhub for wildlife. When you think about it, right?
Yeah,
like
it is.
It's the vibe I get.
It's like Pornhub with director's cut.
Exactly. Pornhub director's cut, but with zebras and wildlife. That's what Animal Planet and thingy National Geographic.
It's like National Pornographic.
That's what they look like
National
to me.
Pornographic.
So you get, National Geographic is an educational channel, but you start to see patterns and you're like, animals are always smashing. And then one day you're watching it and they're telling you about bees and how the guy who gets to smash the queen gets stung to death by all these other homeboys. And I'm like, damn, you really don't want this guy bragging about how he hit it. Like, they just chase you. So you're thinking, that's why when I was a kid, there's this one time, bees passed by, right? But in installments. There was that one bee that flew by like, zzz, then there's a swarm. Zzz. And then there's that other slow guy at the end. Zzz. Like, there's always that, like, so you see, where did we start from? National Geographic. But that's how stupid the joke has got it. So you're thinking, if I were the bee smashing the queen, they sting you like after you come, right? So don't let them know you've come. Just be there and tie your organ. Don't let them know. The problem is there's always that smile that gives you away at the end. You're like, get him! So but you see how crazy it gets from National
Something
Geographic.
simple, yeah.
I think part of the reason people say the humor was intellectual is because I was just analyzing everyday things.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
2009 was the first time I saw Bugolobi driving school day and boarding. You remember that sign post Bugolobi
Driving
stage?
school.
Bugolobi driving school day and boarding. I swear.
Is that a real thing?
I'm not even joking. It was there.
Fuck out of here.
So I'm thinking to myself, so what are you guys doing? Like, you bang winter for acceleration? What's up? Like, what's up with this?
What?
Where does this go? 4 a.m. for the carburetor.
Damn, boy.
So the simplest things, the humor is from the simple things. I don't believe you should talk about the funny things.
Yeah,
because chances are someone has already thought through the humor. You're not supposed to narrate what you saw that was funny. You can narrate something funny, but then you have to give your opinion on the humor, right? Otherwise, you'll just be repeating what everybody saw.
This is some free knowledge for comedians. Eh?
This is a whole lot of game right now.
yeah.
This is a whole lot of game. Because, I mean, there are a lot of, getting back to the point of what social media has been able to do to help people become very popular or very famous very quickly, right? First of all, there's an entire misuse of the word celeb and celebrity in our Ugandan lexicon. We'll get away with that. That's a whole conversation for another
For
day.
now.
For now. Right? But to me, people can become notorious or have a lot of notoriety through their social media very quickly, right?
Yeah.
So now there's TikTok and Snapchat and Instagram and all of these platforms where you can release a viral moment and things can become very big for you very quickly, right? Does it become challenging or difficult to take somebody seriously? Or how do you approach those individuals who are in that space and in that realm and they approach you and they say, Omara, here's what I want to do. You already talked about, write. Every day, write.
Yeah.
And once a week, I want to see 5 minutes from you, right?
Yeah.
Once a week, I want to see 5 minutes from you. What is some of the other advice that you give to someone who wants to be looked at as a respectable and, a person to be taken seriously in this and they want to build a career and a life out of this? Like, what are some of the other bits of advice that you give them?
Consistency is everything. Like, if you're going to show up on stage today and not be there next week, okay, I'm from an era of stand-up comedy where you had to be on stage every week because there were 10 of us. If you didn't perform, you didn't make money. And it wasn't even about the money. It was, to build your brand, to be there. Nowadays, we have people showing up and having one viral video and then suddenly they're raised to this pedestal of, oh yeah, this guy is very funny.
Yeah,
You get?
yeah.
Which, well done, right? You managed to get in one viral video. Cool. But
Can you do it again?
what more do you have?
Right.
Now that you've got this viral video, don't think of this as the end. This is just an opportunity. This is what's getting you into the limelight. People want to see more of you.
Yeah.
So now, keep that same energy, bruv. Like, keep writing, keep giving the same quality of content, keep growing. Like I say, it's why Madrat and Chico, maximum respect.
Yeah.
Every time you see these guys on stage, it's a new set.
Yeah.
It's a new set. And then you have to keep going around testing jokes on people. This guy is a victim of a lot of me testing my material.
Man.
Jacob has
It's
suffered.
some dark days.
He has literally watched pieces grow from one line to a 10-minute set, like the Bad Black set.
Yeah.
Just testing bits and pieces on people. Like, you just keep testing things and then you go back and rewrite. You write, you read, you rewrite. You write, you practice, you rewrite. Because every time you're doing your set verbally, you hear your own voice and you begin to hear how either funny or stupid you sound. And then you go back and switch it up a bit. And you have to keep. 2009 was the first time I saw Bugolobi driving school day and boarding. You remember that signpost? Bugolobi
Driving
stage.
school.
Bugolobi driving school day and boarding. I swear.
Is that a real thing?
I'm not even joking. It was there.
Fuck out of here.
So I'm thinking to myself, so what are you guys doing? Like, you bang winter for acceleration? What's up? It's like, what's up with this?
What?
Where does this
desperate
go?
to drive.
4 a.m. for the carburetor.
Damn, boy.
So the simplest things, the humor is from the simple things. I don't believe you should talk about the funny things.
Yeah.
Yeah, because chances are someone has already thought through the humor. You're not supposed to narrate what you saw that was funny. You can narrate something funny, but then you have to give your opinion on the humor, right? Otherwise, you'll just be repeating what everybody saw.
This is some free knowledge for comedians. Eh?
This is a whole lot of game right now.
Yeah.
This is a whole lot of game. Because, I mean, there are a lot of, getting back to the point of what social media has been able to do to help people become very popular or very famous very quickly, right? First of all, there's an entire misuse of the word celeb and celebrity in our Ugandan lexicon.
Yeah.
We'll get away with that. That's a whole conversation for another
For
day.
now.
For now, right? But to me, people can become notorious or have a lot of notoriety through their social media very quickly, right?
Yeah.
So now there's TikTok and Snapchat and Instagram and all of these platforms where you can release a viral moment and things can become very big for you very quickly, right? Does it become challenging or difficult to take somebody seriously? Or how do you approach those individuals who are in that space and in that realm and they approach you and they say, Omara, here's what I want to do. You already talked about, Right. Every day, right.
Yeah.
And once a week, I want to see 5 minutes from
Yes.
you, right?
Yeah.
Once a week, I want to see 5 minutes from you. What is some of the other advice that you give to someone who wants to be looked at as a respectable and, a person to be taken seriously in this, and they want to build a career and a life out of this? Like, what are some of the other bits of advice that you give them?
Consistency is everything. Like if you're going to show up on stage today and not be there next week, okay, I'm from an era of stand-up comedy where you had to be on stage every week because there were 10 of us. If you didn't perform, you didn't make money. And it wasn't even about the money. It was, to build your brand, to be there. Nowadays, we have people showing up and having one viral video, and then suddenly they're raised to this pedestal of, oh, yeah, this guy is very funny.
Yeah.
You get?
Yeah.
Which, well done, right? You managed to get in one viral video. Cool. But
Can you do it again?
what more do you have?
Right.
Now that you've got this viral video, don't think of this as the end. This is just an opportunity. This is what's getting you into the limelight. People want to see more of you.
Yeah.
So now keep that same energy, bruv. Like, keep writing, keep giving the same quality of content, keep growing. Like I say, it's why Madrat and Chico, maximum respect.
Yeah.
Every time you see these guys on stage, it's a new set.
Yeah.
It's a new set. And then you have to keep going around testing jokes on people. This guy is a victim of a lot of me testing my material.
Man.
Jacob has suffered.
Some dark days.
He has literally watched pieces grow from one line to a 10-minute set, like the Bad Black set.
Yeah.
Just testing bits and pieces on people. Like, you just keep testing things, and then you go back and rewrite. You write, you read, you rewrite. You write, you practice, you rewrite. Because every time you're doing your set verbally, you hear your own voice, and you begin to hear how either funny or stupid you sound. And then you go back and switch it up a bit. And you have to keep rewriting. People think someone gets on stage with a set and just, it's at its best.
Yeah.
There are sets from 10 years ago that I bring back now. It was 5 minutes back then, it's 15 minutes now. The point is, you are going to repeat material. Nobody should argue against that. I've heard Uganda say comedians repeat material. Yes, there's a point to which you're just now being repetitive because you have to leave stage with that laugh, and then you have this particular set of jokes that always get you the high laugh. So either you're repetitive in your subject matter or just in your set in general. You're doing the same jokes or you're doing the same type of jokes.
Yeah.
Like how the Acholis wanted to kill Salvador in 2010 for his Acholi jokes.
Yes.
He remembers that one. So what you have to do is keep tuning up, switching up the material. If you're going to repeat it, at least bring it back with something new. Or make it relevant to a situation that's happening.
Okay, I've got a second. I have a second. Which means I feel like our biggest limitation, or the biggest limitation for now for comedians, as said, if I look at, let's say, you in Kampala, the number of comic goers, comedy viewers, people who go for comedy, if you were to perform every week for 2 months straight, there's a very decent chance you'll see the same people at least twice.
At almost every show.
And I think they feel like that's the limitation in Uganda. So that means someone's going to see you repeat a set.
So you can repeat a set on different platforms.
Yes.
That I don't have a problem with. But repeating the same sets on the same platform,
yeah, that's a mess up.
that's messed up. Because, I mean, chances are, for example, the Comedy Store audience is not necessarily the Fun Factory audience. The theater crowd and the Uma Showground audience are different.
Yeah.
Fun Factory, to be fair, is more attentive. Comedy audience is more hype.
Comedy Store.
Comedy Store, yes. Comedy Store is people are lit, like, it's vibe. Theater audiences, guys are on chill. But they're listening and they're laughing.
Yeah.
And they're laughing, like they're having fun, they're enjoying themselves. It's just a difference in vibe. So you could go to Comedy Store. The energy with which you deliver your set there has to be different.
True.
Because you're competing with musicians, you're competing with the DJ. He keeps throwing that tu-tu-tue when you're in the middle of a joke.
It's like I helped him.
It pisses me off. I won't lie. It
Feels
pisses
like
me
throw a
off.
microphone at that guy.
I've held it in for quite some time. So he's doing his thing. And the audience is lit.
So before the boom,
I like them more. Because I'm not really a high energy person, but I can pull it off.
no wonder comics always get quiet after that thing. Yeah, comics always go. Yes, so
Exactly.
They always be like, damn.
It's distracting.
Like,
Ape Man knew how to do it.
Listen here, DJ. He's just stay
Chill,
there.
okay?
Just laugh out loud.
Introduce me and let me go. Or
Just laugh out loud.
DJ Ape Man knew how to do it. Ape Man played that one when the audience was laughing. Remember that thing I told you about where you have to wait out the crowd?
Yeah.
That's where Ape Man used it. When you hit a punchline so hardcore, he basically just backed you up with the audience laughing and him. Tu, 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 tu. DJs nowadays just throw it in randomly. So my mom, tu, tu, tu. I haven't even set up the joke yet. What is wrong with you? So you have to take different energies to different places. Read the crowd, understand the crowd, like know what you're walking yourself into. This is why I keep saying I'll put people on ice for 2 months and they have to deliver 5 minutes of material every week for 2 months before they step on stage.
Yeah.
So that by the time you step on stage, you're not just stepping on stage for a one-off. You have 2 months worth of content. So you can deliver small bits of 5 to 10 minutes per show. So I'll call up Alex Mohanji because our industry thrives on recommendation. Timothy Nyanzi is going to find this kid who's good and call me up and be like, Danny, there's this guy I know. He does a great thing. Because Timothy Nyanzi runs, what's it called? New Material Night.
Yeah, I've seen
So
that. Yeah,
the mentorship thing in the industry, we just recommend people to each other. Guys, like, I've seen him. I've tested his jokes. Stuff is good. You have an opportunity for him. I'm like, what kind of audience that do you look like he suits? And he was like, he'll do great. So he's like, cool. Aleku, what's up? There's this new kid on the block. Can you give him 5 minutes to open? Now, when they say open, don't go and try to close the damn show. You're opening. Come bring your best 5 minutes, kill it, and go. Alex is watching and is like, if you can be that funny in 5 minutes, imagine what you could do with 10. You get, instead of the other way around, trying to be funny for 30 minutes every single week, but you're new to the game. Yo, you burn out.
So who are a couple of those young people who we're yet to hear about? But like a year from now, 2 years from now, these are the young men and women who are about to just be taken over.
AK Dance is in Sudan right now, but he started.
He's been killing.
He's been killing it in Sudan and South Africa.
Yeah.
He started Sudan Juba Comedy Festival.
Yeah, so the Juba.
Okello Joshua. I mean, he has been on the map, but he hasn't like blown up yet.
Okello
Joshua. Okello.
Why did you say that? You mean Okello?
Okello brought. Oh, he brought twice.
Apparently his name is so nice, he had to say it twice. You say Okello Joshua, I don't know who that is.
Okay, yes, Okello. What's the other guy? Dr. Hillary.
Yeah, Dr. Hillary.
Don Andre. I won't lie. I am not really in touch with the female comedians right now, but I know there's one called Titi.
So sexist.
What's no? There's Titi is just one of her names. I'm trying to remember the other one. Tintin. It's called Tintin. She's called Tintin. Yeah. So
I have a joke, a Tintin joke, but let's just continue.
So that you're going to be seeing a couple of new faces in the industry very, very soon. But yeah, man, we need to go back to the days of mentorship.
So with that, now this from what he's saying also brings me to a different kind of question, because this is, I think, an important question. When you guys started, when you guys were blowing, when you guys were crazy and everything, it was the growth/peak of comedy. 10 years ago, 2012, 2013, it was crazy. And now, it's kind of a different atmosphere right now. Because right now, I don't believe someone has I do not think it will be easy for someone to start a brand, for example, to compete with Comedy Store. I think it would be very, very hard. You can start up another comedy night. Okay, simply put, right now the atmosphere is the environment, the demographic, everything is very, very, very different.
Yes.
Social media, TikTok, comedy shows, even people's perception of comedy in Kampala is different as opposed to before.
Yeah.
Because like I said, back then you guys were only 10, you were a lot fewer, and people who knew were looking out. What is guys coming to? There was no king of comedy. There was the guys to watch for comedy.
There was a squad.
And right now there are kings of comedy. There are king comedy platforms. There are killer YouTube videos. Now the atmosphere and everything is different. How does someone maneuver this now? If someone is new, what would they do to, like, how do they handle this now? It's really different, I think.
Diversify. Like you said from the beginning.
Diversification.
Yeah, man. Go change your gender.
Transgender.
Get like hormone blockers and stuff. Puberty blockers, those things.
Definitely.
But you can't be you can't call yourself a comedian and do just one thing. Honestly.
Do you think Uganda is ready for a
Transsexual community.
a LGBTQ plus comedian?
I think we've had some. We just didn't know it. Yeah.
You don't,
I mean, I have my suspicions.
no, it's a serious question, right? Because at the end of it all, like laughter is one of those things that can kind of become an equalizer, but a lot of the subject matter.
No, they are not ready. They're not ready.
I don't think as a society Uganda is there yet. We
In
are
another 10
still
years.
we're still grappling with female comedians doing sex jokes.
Oh yeah.
We're still grappling with that. Like for a female comedian to do a sex joke and get away with it without any look and stuff,
Yeah.
you have to be either in a serious relationship or married. So Akite, Kotilda, Kansime can get away with a sex joke because they're married and they have kids. They're mothers. So she can literally talk about, hey, me and my husband. Even Christians will accept it. Because one thing people have failed to appreciate is context is everything.
Yeah.
You can do a sex joke in the church as long as in the context of marriage. And borderline, you don't cross entirely. Because you can do a sex joke without it being a dirty joke.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
Is there
Very
anything off
possible.
limits for you? Is there anything that you would find even too difficult to navigate in terms of subject matter that you wouldn't get into?
Politics, LGBTQ.
Oh, no, politics is my favorite, actually.
Hey,
Why thrive on politics, man? Because, look, people are pissed off.
Like right now, the Twitter war between
Kenya.
Mohozi and
Ah,
Jishamuntu.
There's,
yeah.
you guy, it's just too much stress.
that.
But yeah, that's why the best content is relatability.
So I'm sure you open up your phone and you see the Twitter feed going crazy and you're just like, yeah, man.
Like, yes, yeah, yeah.
salivating
Give
content.
me sexy. Yeah, like
How did we even end? I'm lost.
yeah, I'm there like a photographer. You get yeah. Show me some skill.
Screenshot.
Yeah. Oh yes. Like it's just
I'm not going to indulge.
no. The thing is,
I'm not going to be an enabler.
let me be honest with you guys. Comedy has gotten a lot harder.
That's what she said.
Yes. Comedy has gotten a whole lot harder. Because nowadays, not just nowadays, there's always been a group of people who believe they can do what you do. And yeah, respect to them. Anyone thinks they can until they're in your position. Like, hey, me, I thought I could rap. Put me on stage and I'm like, oh my tongue. What's happening? So social media is full of those. To a point whereby some people actually go and listen to your joke at the show, then post it as their tweet and then claim it.
Yeah.
Claim that you took it from them. Galaxy FM, biggest culprit. I swear. We need to talk. Those things.
Point them out. Point them
Yeah,
out.
man. No, I really do. Those things of social media comedians. Let me first go there. These social media comedians who have funny statuses on their pages
tweets.
taken from other people's content.
Yeah.
And then superimposed. Nah, fam. I'm one of those people who's so against content theft. I have issues. Like, if I hear you do another dude's joke, we're going to have a conversation. That's how seriously I take it. I'm like, no. Because I know how long it takes me to get a 10-minute set written and perfected.
And then you just come and do something.
Like, I'm waking up at 5 a.m. On Monday, I'm going to write 30 minutes of content. By Wednesday, it's trickled down to about 20. By Friday, when the show is on, it's down to about 15. Like, I keep compressing, removing anything that isn't necessary. And then I go and kill my 15 minutes and you just pick it and take it somewhere else.
And you tweet it.
Put some respect on my work. We shall fight.
That puts me onto another question that I wanted to ask about. How does a comedian, how does somebody in this space protect your intellectual property, right? Because a lot of what you're delivering and the way that you distribute it is you speak about it on stage, people hear it, they can grab a recording of it, it can be tweeted, quoted, a lot of it is on YouTube, online clips and whatnot. Is there a level of business acumen that a person in comedy can have around making sure that they do A, B, and C to always put themselves in the best position to protect their creative product?
Yeah, that definitely. You have to understand intellectual property laws, copywriting, and all that stuff. But we're still grappling with that in general as an industry, in every regard. I don't think just in comedy. It's still a struggle.
Give me a big question, because as a musician or a filmmaker, it's easy to copyright and protect yourself.
Yeah.
How do you do that as a comedian? You email your jokes to the lawyer?
Basically, you have your set and you say, this is it. It was written on this date. When we performed on this day, this is my material. Yep, stamp, registered. I can't name the full process because usually a friend of mine is the one who handles it.
Also, so you can actually just get a camera in your room, you record the jokes, and then you send the lawyer, I'm like, do the thing.
Yeah.
Then you go and perform it.
Pretty much. But we're still getting there. You get, we're still learning how to do this thing right. You had asked another question. What was it? Sorry, I forgot something there along the way. In regard, yes, also the comedy industry has a code
Yes,
of
yes,
sorts
yes.
amongst comedians. Now, I won't lie, the code is stronger amongst us, the pioneer generation. Like, if you're going to use my joke, or if you're going to build something new out of my joke, because I could drop a one-liner, Salvador hears it and says, hey, I can build that into a set. Can I have that one-liner? I have a gig.
Yeah.
So he's going to go with the one-liner and then build a set out of it. Then if you're going to do a joke somebody else did, reference, give a shout out to the person.
Yeah.
Like you get, pregnancy is so difficult. A friend of mine called Akita Agnes once told me, if you want to know how difficult pregnancy is, go on social media. You are never going to see a labor ward selfie. You have never been on social media and seen someone like, hashtag labor ward thing this, baby number 3. No. Like, you get, but
So you've made the joke and simultaneously you've given a shout out to Akite.
I've given a shout out to
for
Akite.
coming up with the joke.
Yeah, because I borrowed a line I borrowed one of her lines
And
to
then
complement my set about pregnancy.
You built on it.
Yeah, so I kind of built on that one line, and then I added it into my set where it was needed, where it could fit well as a punchline, and gave her a shout out.
Nice.
So everyone's like, okay, anyone in the audience who knows Akite would be like, oh yeah, he, respectfully.
Yeah.
He's like, shout outs to Akite. This was her line.
Yo, I'm also dying to know, right? I asked you about the hostel before. Beneath the Lies, right? where you went from being innocent, young, goofy, or Dutch to now you're a gangster.
Thug life.
Well, called Mukasa.
Yeah.
Bad man thing.
Bad man Mukasa.
Huh?
Bald head and thing.
What was that all about?
I did not want to be typecast. I really, every proposal I received, every script I got after the hostel was we want you to be the Luo guy. And I'd already done that in the Airtel ad and in the hostel, which means I'd played it twice.
Wait, hold on. Do you mean the Luo guy or the Luo guy on the hostel show? Because is that why you chose to be a Muganda guy this time?
Yeah. that was Nana Kaga being stupid with scripts. You know how Nana is. So she just gave me Paul Mukasa. So Cedric was casting, and Cedric's like, bro. Yeah. Paul Mukasa.
I was called Mukasa on Beneath the Lies.
I was called Mukasa. And guys were like, how would you get another nerd to play Mukasa? And I'm like, lol, how long have we been hearing Baganda imitating the Luo accent? Deal with it. You'll be fine. And I just wanted a different kind of role. I didn't want to be that guy anymore because I was also trying to kill Odoch. The way things ended wasn't good. So I was really trying to get as far away as possible from the character.
Wait, did you actually start imitating a Muganda accent?
No, I didn't need a Muganda accent, thank God.
I have questions.
I wasn't ready to be saying yingini. No.
I think we distracted Gabs from the real question. Ask the Beneath the Lies question.
No, I mean, this is the stuff that I want to know because, first of all, there's the whole bit of working with Nana and Cedric and all that, right? So I know them outside of this show, right? I've worked with Cedric in the past. Great guy, right?
Yeah.
Well, I was very shocked and surprised when he showed up on camera with dreadlocks and shit. But
Tyler Perry kind
more
of thing.
power to him, right? But also at the same time, just understanding the fact that you are playing somebody who is now a very strong departure from who you are in your everyday life. Like, that must have been extremely fun. For you.
In my acting career, I've enjoyed the range. I was looking at my reel the other day, and I was thinking to myself, oh my goodness, from goofy college student to psychopathic security guard to romantic love interest in Mela, and then now to Steve Otim, serious business investor and financial management guy.
Hey.
Just
Well, okay.
Pop your collar one more time.
All right.
Huh?
All right.
Hey, Gway.
We're going to guys. We're going to talk about guys who have range in UG.
I love the range. Oh yeah.
This actually also brings the next question.
Uh-huh.
So we out here making sex scenes, huh?
What?
Oh, you didn't know he shot a sex scene in what that was that Mela?
Mela, yeah.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, they did that.
With who?
Who was that? Who was that with again?
I like a Nyanse.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
snap.
yeah. Yeah.
Yo, stop.
Hey, Malaika fly though. I won't lie, but
So you enjoyed the scene, huh? You enjoyed shooting the scene, basically.
I enjoyed sitting this. I enjoyed
Shooting the
scene.
Yeah.
Shooting the sheen.
You suited the sheen. Huh?
No, but it
Yeah,
was.
Yo, shout out to the Queen Malaika.
It was
Man,
shot in a
going
very
back.
interesting way. Like, see how your voice changes when you talk about Malaika. You can't talk about
Shout
Malaika
out.
like I like Malaika.
Shout
So
out to the
it's-
Queen Malaika.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dedications. Said I loved you, but I lied. So, yes. But the way the scene was shot,
Yeah.
they basically just. So I have my shirt off, and she has things off. She's in a nightgown, but you know the sexy ones.
Okay.
She's in a nightgown and
Samalangale.
put her on the kitchen counter table, and then they
You
light.
put her on.
Yeah, put her on game, man. So
So you picked her up.
they light the background.
Bro, you're enjoying
So-
this too much.
We are silhouettes.
He's still talking. Wait,
picking up people.
Uh-huh.
So we are basically silhouettes.
Yeah.
All you're seeing is two dark figures moving in you know.
Yeah.
And then we put the music there. Oh yeah. And just so it was about matching the rhythm. And I was angry when people are like, I didn't know you could move like that. I'm like, what do you see when you look at me? Sincerely. Like for you when you look at me, you really never picture me like in a porn star scene at all. So guys are like, oh yeah, man, respect, man. My affability went up by like 100%.
Hey, so you had another spike.
Another moment.
Man. They're like, oh, dude has range, man, from the church to the bedroom. So it was fun, but working with Malaika was amazing.
I'm sure it was.
She's awesome.
We stayed professional. Imagine, we didn't even kiss.
I'm sure you did.
No, we did not.
Not.
We did not. I didn't even touch her neck. Like, you see me moving and all that, I'm just hovering over here. I'm like, hashtag me too. you gloss over it. You kind of pass because you're silhouettes. So nobody knows. People don't have depth with two
Yes,
dark
acting-
figures.
Acting isn't easy. Eh?
Hey.
Yeah, but it's fun, man. And I didn't even, it didn't get hard for me.
You are not a stand-up comedian.
I was
that day.
professional, yeah.
It
You
wasn't
stand
difficult
I'm
at
very
all.
proud of myself,
Stand
by
out.
the way. We've come a long way from being teenagers. Remember how that thing would just creep up on
Man,
you?
props to you, brother.
Nah, you just blink and things happen. Not impressed.
I think it would creep up on you in a math lesson, you guys. It's like, I always tell people this line. Remember when you were a teenager
Yeah.
and the one humble guy in the classroom who always was never in trouble, never had his name written for noise making, the quiet guy.
Yeah.
Academically, he's there. He may be like number 10 out of 120. Like, he's not he's there. Like, he has a good track record. And then one day the teacher tells him to stand up and answer a question, and he just says, no. Now, in single schools, we got it because we're all guys. In mixed schools, girls were like, hey, what is wrong with him? Why is he wiseacring? The color is always so disciplined. That dude was going to stand up with the desk.
Like he was a stand-up.
He was
Took you a
just,
minute.
he was going to lift it.
Took
Like,
you a minute.
I was so lost. I was
It was-
just was in my own thing.
Like what?
Sorry, man.
Stand up?
so, yeah, we've come a long way. You have to be professional because you're going to be put in situations where you're naked. People change in front of each other.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not an actor though, because man,
When I
do
flash
not
back
want to be in this situation.
when I flash back to that first gig in 2009 that Melly gave us with the models backstage,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be moved right now. I'd probably be standing there like, nice, very fun, very fun. I'd be professional.
Yeah, because you've had those months, like we say, those months where it was going down. You know?
Coitus excessivus.
AM to PM.
10.
So that, but then I was like, so wait, so but from your sentence, does that mean that back then, when you're backstage with the models, you were like, hey,
You enter this industry, the first thing you're going to be hit with is shock.
good
Like,
shocker.
the things you're shocked into, like the stuff you're just going to have to get used to.
Yeah.
Like, I join entertainment and suddenly I'm at parties where people are skinny dipping.
You experienced
And
that?
it's just like naked women jumping into the pool. And I'm like, where are we even? This looks like Luzira.
But bro, what kind of friendship do you have that you haven't been invited to this party?
I'm actually.
He
starting
wasn't
to
around
doubt.
at the time. And of course, earlier in the career is where the Dalu is. I've
Okay.
toned down significantly.
Hey.
With age. You're like, we have to be slowly as if. So when I was in a relationship, chill. I'm in a relationship. When I'm single, hey,
Single.
single.
Okay.
Single. SINGO. With an exclamation mark. Like, and I don't want anyone coming at me like, yeah, but you see. But all my stuff, I had my fun in the background.
Wait,
Yeah.
so you're saying basically when you were in a relationship, you didn't go into have those things,
When I was in a relationship, I was loyal.
but you're not in situations.
No, I wasn't in situations.
When you walk into a club and bombs are thrown onto your
Of
genitals.
course, I grabbed a few rubber dubs. I'm not going to
Ah.
pretend. Yeah, rubber dub, I think, is within an okay range of thingy. Within a relationship, see, you have to take care of your customers, right? Your audience is out here.
Stakeholder management.
Occasionally, you're in their faces so much. Thank you.
Stakeholder management.
Yes, Wama Bonga,
man.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, you're in their faces so much. Sometimes you need to get behind them. Switch position. So, yeah. Now I'm going to get me some rubber dubs. And just rubber dub dance. You know I love to
Yeah,
dance.
it's
I love to dance.
I just realized I've never seen Rubber Dubber dance in a club. Anyway,
imagine.
Just a question.
What?
Rubber Dubber. It's just the
I've
name.
never
just-
seen rubber dub.
I mean, you can't be called Rubber Dubber if you haven't.
What
Anyway,
is your
so it's-
purpose? This is your name, bro. Live up to it.
So you're saying,
Yeah,
It's just a
so
random question. Yeah, so
sometimes it got crazy. Sometimes you're just sitting there looking at your life like, okay, I need to stop drinking today.
but first wait.
It has been... I have been running on fumes because every event you're going to, you work and then you party.
Yeah.
You get for me the policy always was don't operate under the influence or you will start to become reliant on it.
Sure.
Don't show up high, don't show up drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get drunk there, but don't go to an event and say I'm build this like if I can't MC if I haven't drunk. That's not a good place to be.
You're gonna become that
It's
guy.
really a very bad place to be because I've seen it happen to a lot of people. They think they can handle it until one day they come on stage staggering. Or they're emceeing and they're slurring their words. You get a welcome Lar to film party. I'm like, okay, Sylvester Stallone, can you please go on with the event?
That's
Drink some water.
terrible.
You've actually seen people go through that.
I've seen people slur on stage. I've
As
seen people
MCs.
straight up drunk on stage as MCs and comedians. I've seen people show up backstage steaming of liquor. Now, I know guys who would hit a blunt before a performance, right?
Yeah.
But not become a nuisance on stage.
Don't do drugs.
Still, I may not agree with it, but I'm like, okay, if you know what your thing is and you can manage it, look, we have different inspirations. I wouldn't recommend it, but
Yeah.
it works for some people. But how are you going to avoid the dependency? It's better for you to just not start at all. So I have this habit of starting to drink towards the end of the event.
Okay.
Like, we have 10, 20 minutes to go. All I have is basically like parting remarks. Then there's like a performer who's going to come and rock the stage. And then I'll tell guys, okay, the next stage of the event is now open. And I'll probably say it holding a glass of something.
Yeah.
Now I've started the party with the rest of the people.
Yeah.
Before that, hey, please don't get... Or if you did drink, I remember this one incident. It was the Chief Justice's inauguration. Owindolo, Justice. I think back then he had just become the Deputy Chief Justice. So they called me to do a set at his event. And, there's Black Label in the house. We are living it up. Olaro Tunu is there, Nobat Mao, like dignitaries, Justice Helen Obura, like high-profile people, right? I was the lowest-profile person at this place. Then there's a bunch of young lawyers my age, the Lukuya family. So I'm there, and I'm like, I'm the guy they picked to entertain this audience. Of course, I'm honored. I'm like, shush, this guy said, give him whatever money he wants. I want him here on that day. I don't care. And I'm like, cool. I step in, this Black Label. So I do a couple of shots. I ask the MC, what time are you calling me onto the stage? He tells me, I'm calling you on about 9:30. I'm like, cool. We party. I'm drinking with these homies. Some people from UCU who did law. Stuff is going well. So I'm thinking 8:45, stop the drinking, push some water, get ready for the stage. This guy MC pops out of nowhere. Yo, are you ready now? We are good to go. I'm like, whoa, wait. I am not in condition to perform. As in, yeah, I can, but I wouldn't recommend this. So I start trying to push some water. Stuff is not moving fast enough. So a guy calls me to the stage, and I had to go like that. So I'm trying to keep my mental faculties steady. And I'm like, you can't mess up in front of this crowd. You were chosen for this occasion. You're the only entertainment. There was no band. There was no fancy stuff. It was a couple of speeches. Fun speeches, by the way. Yo, these guys are lit. These guys are in legal, but they're funny. I was having fun listening to their speeches. I'm like, these dudes are interesting. So I get up there, and I'm trying to get my stuff together. And there's this, I look at the camera, and that's when I realized there's a big screen behind me that's literally just showing my face. Properly. At moment, and oh shit snuck out from my behind. I'm like, oh, no. This is not a good place to be, bruv. So, of course, I jumped on Olara immediately. I'm like, yo, so I'm taught traditionally that if you're going to do jokes about your elders, you need to ask their permission first. I'm like, Honorable Tunu, do I have your permission? The guy's like, you go right ahead. I'm like, perfect. I bought some time to sober up. Meanwhile, there are those openers. Those basic openers of, yo, my family is very supportive of my comedy career. Every time I'm going to perform, they send me a letter. They write me an SMS. Let me read it to you. Says, you are Wagwan. Me have to tell you, say, you are going to kill them one time. Make them laugh till them fall upon the floor. And then at the end of the message, it's love, grandma. Like those openers, right? That just... the icebreakers. Yeah. So I had to use like 5 minutes of icebreakers because the icebreakers are a constant.
Concrete.
Yes, you have them. But my set was floating around everywhere in my head. And the thing about a crowd like that is, yes, you can be funny. But are you actually making sense? Are they following? Is it coherent? Because they're listening. So you can't afford to mess up. So you're going into a joke and then you see yourself about to give away the punchline. You have to stop yourself and rewind a bit. Backtrack your tongue. So my brain was just like, Omara, you have to maintain your balance, your set. Look normal, because this screen at the back is just crazy. And halfway through my performance, I realized the glass was right in front of me. I had walked onto the stage with it.
Glass of alcohol.
With my liquor. With my Black Label and Coca-Cola. I was standing at the pulpit with it, and this whole time, I hadn't even seen it. I just walked up with it, put it there, and started talking. Halfway through, when I'm a bit more sober now, I'm like, this whole time.
This is anxiety. Huh? How does it go? What's next?
I would not be surprised if some of them knew I was a bit buzzed. I really wouldn't be surprised. I think I hid it very well, but I am sure that people who saw it and caught on.
But it hit.
Hey, I had an amazing performance. Guys were entertained. They laughed. You know, you go shake hands after that, and people, brilliant. I love those compliments. I love those compliments when someone's like, you're different from other comedians. I'm like, oh, yeah. Find me running around in the background with my glass, celebrating, going wild. Oh, no. I love those compliments. So people can tell you you're funny, and yeah, you know, it's nice. But when someone tells you, hey, man, you're very eloquent. Your stuff seems very well thought through.
Yeah.
I was with you from beginning to end. So that's why I stick to one topic. I just stay on one topic for the entire set because it's highly unlikely that you're going to forget what's up. Like, you know what it is. So when you know your set and where you're going after every bit, it makes it easier for you to improvise.
Yeah, that's true.
So like someone from the audience heckles you, and you know your material. That's why it's rule number 1. Somebody from the audience heckles you, and you can deal with them in 5 seconds and get back to your set. I knew a guy called Kenneth Mulalu.
I can imagine what he did.
Oh no, this dude was special. This guy, he was one of the original founders of Crackers, right? Kenneth Tusubira, but we called him Mulalu because he was literally crazy on stage. Have you ever seen a guy pick up a phone call?
While performing.
While performing. And it's not part of the set.
No.
Because we used to hand over our phones to our friends, right?
Yeah.
Like 20 minutes to your performance, hand it over. What if you get a message that throws you off balance?
Yeah.
We had to take precaution. Kenneth never followed the rules. Kenneth rehearsed material, but never did it the way he rehearsed it. He went on stage always with something different and just improvised for his entire set. But the day he didn't rehearse any material is the day he failed to improvise, which just proves my theory. It's easier to improvise when you already have a fallback plan. You get.
He didn't rehearse, and that's the day.
He bombed on stage.
Oh.
Because this dude's improv was on another level. He picked a phone call, I think, from his sister or his mom and had a conversation with her and made it part of the set. So we are picking up what's happening on phone on the other end from how he's responding. It's like, no, I left it. Just put the mattress back in the room. Like, how hard is that? Like, you know, those things where someone peed on bed, left the mattress out, and now it's going to rain. So he just made that all part of the set. And then he's like, sorry, you know I'm on stage. Hang up, dude. And I could hear the person talking on the other end and laughing because they knew they were part of the act. He somehow brought them in and told them, why are you calling me now? I'm on stage. I'm performing. What do you want? Wow. And this guy was wild, but he failed. That's the guy who came up with the set about how Chameleon wrote one song that's 1 hour and a half long and then just keeps giving us 3-minute bits. He was a guitarist.
Yeah.
And a dancer, and I think ballet or something. Like, it was diverse. So Kenneth gets on stage with his guitar. I can prove to you Chameleon has one song. Starts the tune. And he tells the audience, you guys pick the song, right? You guys like, Jamila and Nadia. Next song. Befula. On the same tune.
Yeah.
This was like a 5 to 10 minute set. Like, the audience was just blown away. And then he could imitate Bebe Cool, Bobby Wine, and Chameleon. Like, there have been crazy people in this industry. I don't know how he left comedy to go do music in Australia, but, you know, everyone has their dream.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What kind of music is he making in Australia?
Listen.
Music for who in Australia?
I will be honest with you. Earlier in our careers, we really didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know what we had. We were just making this up as we went along. So a guy like that probably just didn't know what he had in comedy. Because he left and the audience asked for him for like a year. Where's Mulalu? When is Mulalu coming back? Like, that's how big the names had gotten. It was wild.
Mulalu.
So, yeah. So rule number 1, know your material.
Wait, what's his artist name now? Mulalu or?
I don't know what he uses, but Kenneth Tusubira, I think, is still his Facebook, online, whatever, profile. Name.
Right. So we need to wrap this up shortly.
Learn some
But
things, eh?
yeah, what's next for you, man? Like, you've got a lot, I'm sure, in store for your fans, for the audience. A lot of business ambition that you hope to achieve in the next couple of years. Like, what is it that you're super excited about?
I am excited about directing. I'm going into that. I can't give the name of the project. It's still very low-key. But I am director. And I'm loving it.
Nice.
I'm in charge of a crew and a cast. Like, oof, this is so much fun. Then I'm writing 2 sitcom projects currently.
Excellent.
One for an Indian, believe it or not.
Okay.
Basically a show where you have Ugandans and Indians working in the same workspace.
That sounds lit.
It's very late.
Is there a guy called Rajesh?
Actually, it's called Raj.
Close. There's always has to be
Very
a
close.
Rajesh.
has to be a Raj something.
There has to be a Raj.
A pra.
A Priya will show up at some point.
PR or an RAJ.
Yeah. Then,
Part of the cast.
then I'm having lots of fun being Kansime's creative director. It's a ball.
Nice. Nice.
Nice.
Those skits are like the highlight of my day sometimes. Like, when you go back and watch them and realize what you wrote is so far from what you're watching. Like, the performance element she brings to a script.
Yeah.
Crazy. Like, you basically, like I said, find a relatable topic, then find the humor from it. Like, chick gives a guy her number, dude doesn't call. So she looks for his number and calls him to complain about him not calling, yet he vibed her. Like, you think I gave you the number for what? Like, okay, send me my number back. I gave it, you need to send that shit back. Like, text it back to me and then delete it from your phone if you're not going to use it. Like, send mobile money. Do something with the damn number. It's been 2 weeks. God damn it. Like, and it's relatable for any female.
Yeah.
I think every girl has had a dude who took their number and they were really interested in, like, I think I liked him. And the guy just never called back.
Good times.
And she's like, what the hell happened? So I'll put that on Kansime and be like, so I think this is something old. And she'll look at the script like, yeah, in fact, I've always wanted to talk about something like this, man. So she goes into the script with the energy.
Yeah.
But first thing, relatability. Then the humor comes in. The problem I see with people trying to do skits is they want to be funny. They want to find funny situations to act a skit about. Like someone's taking a dump, he sees his border being stolen and he tries to woo with the toilet paper in his hand. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, it's kind of funny, but it's also very ew. Yeah, I mean, when we reach 5D, 6D cinema where smell is a thing, your skit will suck. So, but it's fun. I'm having the time of my life. I think I'm in that position where I'm finally okay with being tired enough to keep working.
That's what she said.
You know that state of mind? That's what your dick said.
That was a good one.
I know, it was
Finally in position to... Okay, can continue. Huh?
Yeah, when you're tired enough to keep working. That thing where you're so tired, you don't want to rest.
Uh-huh.
I am enjoying that. Yeah, like, I'm having fun with it. I'm like, you're tired, but it's mostly because you just want to sleep. Do you need to sleep? No. So while you're awake, do something constructive. Just have fun with it. And then, so I've started sitting and writing scripts. I've been scared of writing for most of my life because I have a character bias. I always favor the character that I relate to the most.
It's only right, yeah.
Yeah, so I've kind of been avoiding it. But then I've learned how to separate and just say, okay, you know what, this compartment is for this guy, this for this guy. You're going to think for 6 people and each of them is going to be equally valid in their argument. It's up to the audience to choose who they agree with. And then you go in. So, good stuff coming up. Big things. Just like my dick.
That was a me. I know you always look at me. That was a me.
Well, listen here, man.
That wasn't me. That's what I'm saying.
Related to all of the professional stuff you've got coming up, I'm excited for you, man. I'm happy for you.
You know, clarify that.
I count myself among your fans out here, right?
Appreciate it, man.
You've always been a stand-up guy, man. You've always been a real one of the ones I consider a real one. Having a conversation with you in a public space when it's not about a performance and all of that stuff is a real thing, man. And I appreciate that you're one of the genuine people out here, man. And I just continue to wish you all of the success that you so richly deserve, man. And I know, you know, you guys have a relationship that is just going to continue, friendship and all of that shit. But I'm trying to hear a Omara skit. Jacob.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hear an Omara skit on the next Play01 album.
Skit, man, is gonna have like a full.
Either that or I need a Hot 16.
His album is going to have my album of jokes.
I actually forgot what. Thanks. Now that you said that, I forgot what I was supposed to. No, we always have something we're supposed to say. I've got to tell you this. I actually was thinking about it earlier. I forgot to mention it.
Yeah,
this man can rap. Please give us some bars. Please, you know you have. Give us that one, that rap. Please. I'm just saying. People need to know this. This is what we're about.
Do we need a beat or are we gonna go a cappella?
I don't know. I think the cappella,
Get him.
like random stuff.
Get him.
Like, you know, I don't do it like you guys.
Nah, okay. Don't freestyle. Give us a written.
Me, I just be there chilling. You know, random things like, to my friends, I'm OD. To my foes, I'm known as the realest, illest, meanest langy up this side of UG. Roll solo, no pop coca, and most wanted by 5-0. So, but I lay low because I'm being followed for being your role model.
Hey.
I'm a hater, but good to players. No chicken, so I'm good to off layers. Ass cold to save us. I'm the one heaven chose, so I brought the laws.
Hey.
Pimp but root to hoes, pro but good to cons. I'm good to my foes, but I'm hard to figure out like Morse code. Can't be forgotten, too well known. I'm the switch that turns on all. I bring the heat, so you can call me that hole in the ozone.
Hey.
It's random shit.
Hey. That's it. It's all right. We're dropping the mic on that one.
Am I that good? I'm getting props
Daniel
from people with the
Omara.
actual hip hop accent.
Big time, man. That's what's up, man. Congratulations to the world for having heard this amazing ghost verse from Omara.
This is something about chicken and off layers. Bring the heat like the ozone. Oh, how to figure out like Morse code. I'm gonna steal bars. You be there.
Yeah. You wait. I'm still waiting for my collabo, man. I want one verse.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Allergic to Average podcast. Please like, subscribe, share, tweet, retweet, do everything that you can to make sure that you spread this to the audience that we're looking for, man. This is dope. This is Daniel Omara. This is Play01. This is Mastergabs. We'll see you on the next episode, y'all.